Hey guys, I want to talk to you about this cartridge right here. This is a Super Famicom racing game. It's very like generic, kind of unassuming looking cartridge. Doesn't look like anything particularly special. And I didn't think it was. This is actually a game that I didn't specifically buy. I bought a lot of games like off of eBay of just random Super Famicom racing games because I love racing games, and this is a long time ago. This has been a couple of years ago, and this was one of the cartridges that was in that lot. It's not one that I had ever heard of or really cared about. In fact, it wasn't a game I gave much attention to right away. But when I finally did start to pay attention to it, I was really glad that I did, because it turns out that this, with the exception of probably F-Zero, is my favorite Super Nintendo racing game. It's an F1 racing game, and it is probably the best looking one on the Super Nintendo in my opinion, and it's definitely fun to play. It's easy to control, and it just gives you a really good sense of speed and everything. I really like it a lot, and I've been playing it on Super Nintendo or my Super Famicom since I got it. And we're going to play it a little bit today on an emulator, and there's a reason for that. But I want to show you why I like this game so much. It was asked about in a recent stream that I did. They were like, hey, what's your favorite Super Nintendo racing game? I couldn't remember the name of this, but I wanted to, when I pulled this out of my collection, I wanted to just do a quick video to show why I love this game so much. So, let's take a look at F1 Super Circus 2 on the Super Famicom. Okie doke, here we go. Let's load this game up. Let's give it a shot. Playing it in RetroArch using the B SNES core. We're just gonna play it a little bit. It is a Super Famicom game, so there's a lot of Japanese text, but it doesn't hinder the game itself. Got some pretty nice music. It's not too bad. All right, here we go. Let's just start playing the World Championship. It's funny how some of the text is English and some of it isn't. All right, here we go. There's different modes here you can do to do different things. We'll just do a free run just to show you what it looks like. And we're off. A little bit of hit the brakes a little late on that one, sorry. Just gonna pause for a second. One thing I wanted to note is the angle that the camera is at is very interesting. You don't see, like, there's a lot of racing games on Super Nintendo, and a lot of them utilize the Mode 7 effect, which is what's being used here. But because of the particular angle, it almost gives this game like a 3D polygonal type of look to it while the game's running. In fact, when I was trying to remember this game, I was trying to remember, was this a polygonal game or was it mode 7? And I actually wasn't 100% sure just from my memory. But as you can see, it is a mode 7 game. And the way the angle is and the way they drew your racing car and things like that, it just adds to that 3D aesthetic. It's a really nice graphical presentation the way they do this. So many of the F1 games on Super Nintendo do a split screen, and this is effectively, if you look at it, sort of a split screen. It's a little bit skewed. There's more track than there is sky, but that top part of the screen obviously is not really moving. It's not part of the Mode 7 presentation. But I think it looks great. I think it works really good for this game. Oh, get back on there. Aside from the really impressive looking graphics in the game, and I think pretty good sound effects as well, this game feels really good. It controls really good. It responds to you in a very fair way. So many racing games, they don't understand how important it is to have really good, solid controls that respond, that you feel like you're really, you feel like the game is treating you fairly. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you add all that together, and this is a excellent racing experience. It's a racing game that, honestly, like I said, aside from F-Zero on the Super Nintendo, this is my favorite because it just feels so good, and I think it looks fantastic. Oh, if I could just stay on the track. That, by the way, is totally my fault. That if I'm concentrating, I can do a lot better, which I will be in just a second. Oh boy, that came up on me. One thing I want to note, and the reason that I wanted to show you this on an emulator, is with BSNES, we can implement HD Mode 7 and really make these graphics look amazing with a really cool looking widescreen upscaled track, which just looks fantastic. So let me show you what that looks like and what that experience is like, and how it really takes this to a whole nother level than even what I can do on my Super Nintendo. Let's take a look at that. Okay, here we go. What a difference that makes, huh? You may prefer to not use the HD Mode 7 stuff, or you might like it, but I think it's a really cool option for playing games like this on Super Nintendo, and it's a good reason to not pigeonhole yourself into one way of playing something, you know? I've always preferred to play Super Nintendo stuff on a real system, but with features like this, it definitely gives you a reason to expand out and try other things. So, anyway, that is it. F1 Super Circus 2 on the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo. I'm not even sure if this is on Super Nintendo. It may only be on Super Famicom. But check it out, because it's a pretty cool game and definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite racing game on Super Nintendo. I think it's just fantastic. I will have more videos coming soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and as I've struggled to try to play this racing game. And I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.